CAM1 on air.
Hello everyone at home. How are you doing tonight? I believe you guys are okay. You're welcome to my channel again and welcome to my program. I still remain your dear Murphy Ojo. Welcome to my one and only channel. The channel that helps you out guys out there to grow. That helps whoever is a carer out there to grow, to know what they're doing. The channels that educate people, the channels that make people to be aware of what is going around them as a carer, ask anybody who is in health industry, most especially domiciliary carers. The channels that support you guys out there not to be making mistakes. The channel that inculcate the good habit of being a carer into you. Yeah, that's channels, and the same channel called Hypertech channel. And welcome to my program. Which one of the program? That is Murphy Cares. You will never see that kind of channels. We'll go out there to support you to the fullest. We'll go out there to make you guys to be the best of the best. The program that makes you guys to be aware of all those bits and pieces of all those things that you're doing that you might not feel to be anything, that helps you to tie all those little knots all around. Yeah, you're welcome. How was the day? I believe you guys you had a very good day. You've gone out there, you've done the best of the best. Walking around, waking up in the morning, go from one house to another. It's not from one house to another. It's not an easy thing, but that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. I always tell people this is a very rewarding field. Yeah, you might not see it that way now. Whoever is just joining us, we might not see it that way, but in the long run, there are more reward. The fulfillment of your heart that, okay, at least I've done something. I've actually add value into somebody's life. Either adult, other children, either whoever you're looking after, you've been able to add value, you've been able to support them, you've been able to give them hope that, you don't know what? Yeah, this one might be nosediving, might be troubling, but there are still good guys out there. Yeah, with how much per hour that you guys have been paid, but you still go out there to do your best. To every one of you, boom. Thank you guys. So I'm back again. So what am I back for today? As I said, you can join me on my Facebook page, Hypertech TV. You can join me on my YouTube page, Stream Hypertech TV. The Instagram is doing a bit of here or there. I don't know the reason why, but I will find a solution to everything. But currently, we are just on two pages, both Facebook and YouTube. That YouTube is regular one every Monday. We are here. So don't let us spend much of our time. Let's go straight to why we are here. Again, it's about PRN. When I discussed PRN last week, there are people that still believe that, okay, they are struggling one way or the other on how do we even complete the martial. And I said to them, just go to that video and listen to it again. But they just said, okay. They just want me to discuss the topic again. They want me to discuss it again. And what am I here for? We're here to support ourselves. We're here to make this job much more easier. If you know, find a way to educate me. If I know, I find a way to educate you. That is how I grow. This is not about channel that, okay, there's COS somewhere or those everything. So click that link. No, there is no link. You won't see any link under my channel. I'm not here for that. I'm not selling COS on this channel. Some people might be doing that. What I'm doing is to educate ourselves, to educate we carers. There are carers and there are carers. Those who really care, who have got passion for this job, who just want to go out there and even go beyond their own limit to support somebody. Because one way or the other, we still get there. So let's jump in. What are the PRN medication? PRN medication is what we call when required medication. I said last week. So what are when required medication? Most of the laxatives are when required medications. Most of the pain relief, this now when required medications. something like paracetamol, could be PRA. Yeah, exactly. Even some cream are PRA. It is when needed. It is not every time that you will need it. But a lot of people have been going without completing the mass chart when applying or when supporting a client with a PRA medication is when required medication. But this is wrong. This is wrong. An activity already taking place. So you're supposed to be able to justify or to defend or to document the reason why the activity actually took place. And that is why you have all those documentation for. So if you support somebody with a PRA medication and then you find you feel that okay, there is no need for you to document it, then you're at fault. So somebody asked me, but I've not support that person with that medication. They don't need it. Then you need to still put it in your mass chart. Forget about communication record sheet. Communication record sheet, just that is where you put the total of what you've done for that particular activity or for that particular shift or for that particular call. That is where you put everything. But in case of mass chart, you're walking into your client's house. It's just like stool chart, bar chart, what else? Repositioning chart, everything that is chart that you've got to be monitored. It for a reason. Yeah, if you reposition somebody from left to right, right to right to back to left or whatever, and then you continue to monitor it, and you see maybe they've got saw in their body. I'm not going to that one now. The same thing with mass chart. So if, like the person that I said, this person that asked me, if they've not, he or she have not administered the medication, why do you need to put it down? You need to put it down because for them to know that you are that shift and this medication was not even needed at that particular point in time. They say, what if I leave it blank? Leave it blank does not mean that, okay, you actually offer, you do not offer. So leave it blank might be as a result of you mix it or you made a mistake. If you mix it and then there's possibility altogether you not even think about writing anything in my chart. So that is why, and then for the purposes of documentation, for the purposes of, okay, how many of medication do we have? We have 10 at the beginning of the month. Another 20 was delivered. And so far, so good. They've been able to take 4. So what 4 minus the other thing on the mass chart? Okay, it's still worth it. It is correct. But when everything just remain blank, no, you shouldn't do that. You should never leave a mass chart blank. You should never. You should never leave a mass chart blank. Something needs to happen. You need to do something. And what is that you need to do? If you've offered them medication or the client themselves, they ask for PRA medication, for when required medication, and you support them with it, then you've got to initial the mass chart. You put your initial, know your signature. I've said to many people, know your signature. And around that side, know your signature. You put your initial, and then that is it. You've done your job. But in the case that you actually you didn't administer medication, you've got, for instance, you've got calls in the day, morning and evening. Then in the morning, they didn't ask for it. You realize that there's no need for you to offer it, or you just mark it, your initial, and go to the back where they put notes. You put the date, you put the code, you put the reason, you put the reason, and the reason is not really required, and then you then sign out, because the column is about date, code, reason, and probably sign out. I don't know, people use different kind of mass chart, but basically that is about 1, 2, 3, 4 column. So, and then you then signing out. That's all. You initial it out so people know that, okay, the initial is supposed to have put under in the mass chart in the first place, in the rectangular, in the square thing. That is what you are now putting at the back. So people know that that medication at that particular point in time is not required. So let's not leave all that alone. Let's talk about why can't we just make medications? Somebody also asked me, why can't we just make medication? Just to be administering medication for somebody, to be making regular. So let's talk about laxatives. Laxatives are all those medications that you support your client with because they've not been going to the toilet. So it makes their number two to be much more softer kind of a thing and much more easier for them to go to the toilet. So you have Senna, you have Senocort, you have Laxido, yeah. And then they make it a regular medication. And you continue to support your clients. And they continue to move well to the extent that they've got diarrhea. To you might, somebody will say, how do you know that it's diarrhea? Somebody who is going to the toilet almost every second. By the time you finish with them, they've come up again, By the time you finish, they've come up again. Something should sense to you that, okay, you just put yourself in that kind of a shoe. Though, yes, I know you're not a doctor. That's almost, how do I know? But it's part of your job to see certain signs. The more somebody goes to the toilet, the more they are losing water, they are losing a lot of things. Then they become sick. So instead of that to happen, let's say they make it irregular, but it's not your responsibility as being a carer to contact either your office. It's not even either your office. It's a must. You've got to contact your office. And then your office there are some situation whereby, or instances whereby the client, you as a carer, we call both the doctor and your office to report them. You report to your office and your office will tell you, okay, call the doctor, explain to them. And there are other instances, there are some companies that, okay, no, they just want you to report to the office. They will take over everything. They will then speak to the doctor will come back to them, speak to them, okay, advise them what next to do, and then they'll be able to now pass the information across to you. So you'll be able to know what next to do. Like, okay, you have to continue because the medication the person are on, they're prone to a possibility that might cause them constipation, which indirectly makes them not be able to go to the toilet. So, or the doctor comes back to you to tell you that, okay, you don't know what? Turn it to when needed. Or if it is twice in a day, make it once in a day. It depends, but you know your right. It's not in your remit to decide on what to do. The only thing that is in your remit is when you perceive that, okay, this is causing them diarrhea. What is in your remit is to report. That one is in your remit. That's your responsibility. You've got to report it. Don't just think that, okay, it is what it is. It's not what it is. You've got to report it. And then, or you take the decision, you don't know what, because I've seen that one. I use my common sense. How do you know that your sense is common to my own? When you decide to change, to stop the medication, and then by yourself, and still continue to be putting refuse. That's another area that I want to talk about. When carer administer medication and then they say, PRA medication, because it's not required, they will then put R. They do not refuse, because it's not a regular medication. You can't refuse a regular medication, a PRA medication. When they said no, it shows that it is not just required. It's simple. Like, you want to eat in the morning. They said, okay, once in a while, you should always, maybe there is an instruction to you that once in a while, you should always eat fruit. And every morning, morning and evening, before you eat food, you should always eat food. You should eat at least a portion of, or 5 daily something of fruit. And then it's not regular. It is when you feel that, okay, you need it. And then one day you just decided, you don't know what, I'm not taking that. I'm not eating any food. I just want to eat my food. And somebody now said, you refused to take to eat those fruits. No, you've not refused it. You just don't require at that particular point in time. It's not something that you want at that particular point in time. You don't want it. The same thing with medication. They just don't want it that time. In the next few minutes, few hours, or the mother, okay, I think I'm feeling a bit of a pain if it is paracetamol. Can I have just 2 paracetamol there? And they take it. So that is totally different from somebody who the medication is a regular thing, and then that one refuse, that one is certain. But when something is when required, you should never, they're not refusing it. Don't complicate issues with yourself. They are not refusing it. What they are doing, what is happening is that it is not required at that particular point in time. So let's now get away from that side. Let's now talk about, okay, you continue to be putting, what do you now put? I cannot tell you this is what you have to put there. It depends on the organization that you work for. Some organization is X, that X-ray. Some organization is Z, zebra. So it depends on, just check the marshal you are dealing with. When they put it X, people will even know when not required, they will put it there, X. And there are some that will put Z, others. So there is no required, when not required there, they just put Z, other. So you should put Z, and at the back, what are the order? It is the order that you then went to the back to explain in that box that takes you not required. Not required. So this is so simple. Why people are still making mistakes, I don't know. What you need to follow is always follow the instructions in your math chart. Follow it. The 6 or 7 hours. Some people even have 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours. It depends on, because people don't want to make mistakes. People don't want to make mistakes. You make sure that you check, you have the right person, you have the right medication, you have the right route, you have the right dose, you have the right stage, the right time, it's right documentation, the right to refuse. All those things, you must make sure you have them. You can take the math chart and be able to explain this. You should be able to, okay, this, yeah, I take it. I think this math chart belongs to this person. This one belongs to this one. The medication belongs to him. This because on the math chart and it's at all, or it's in the blister pack. And then that is the right dose. This is 5 milligrams, this is 10 milligrams. Okay, it's actually tallying with what you have on your distance. So if you're able to do this, the only confusing side of it is, mostly it is when required. People always said, how do you know it is when required? How do you know when it is required? I said to you last week, there is what we call protocol. PRM protocol. From the word protocol, it gives you the guidelines, the guide on how to administer the medication. It will be there. And I said to you, one of the most important time for you to know that, okay, clients actually need that medication, it is when they themselves ask for it. So simple. When they ask for it, can I have this medication? You should know that, okay, they actually need this medication. Again, let's say they are unable to ask that. They are unable to fulfill that side of the whole thing. Then what else? That is when I said to you that when you feel somebody that is, they said, I'm feeling pain all over my body, I'm feeling pain. You should know that, and then paracetamol is one of the PRN medication, one of the medication on this thing. Paracetamol is for pain. You just give them 2. Just give them 2. But just make sure that around that paracetamol, because I've seen a lot of clients who are now got addicted to paracetamol. And carer just think that, okay, it's normal for them whenever they ask for it to give you, to support them with paracetamol. And that is not true. If you have a client who is on paracetamol and they ask for, okay, you have 4 courses and they ask for it for the whole 4 courses. Yeah, they still have the right to take, but you just have to use, you have to be very, very alert to know what is going on around you. Is it addiction, or are they really in pain? And the following day, they're asking for the whole thing. Ordinarily, when you take when you take a 2 dosage of that is about 8 in every day, you should have to call your doctor, go to the hospital. Paracetamol is no more your issues after you've taken about 16 tablets. The same thing with people at home. The elderly we are looking after. Most of them, it's not that they're really suffering from that pain, because they actually rely on it. Immediately you get that, you just need to, sometimes when you even talk to them, you don't even need your doctor most of the time. You just need to talk to them. No. This paracetamol for you, it is when required. So And I feel that taking 2 will be more than enough for you for the whole day or for the time being. So when you will see it, how they're feeling. Yeah, there are some of them, they are very cunning. They behave this as if there is all pain all over this thing. But 9 out of 10 of them, immediately you are able to just put them into your own direction, put them to where you want them to be by explaining to them why they shouldn't be taking paracetamol every time. That because of your kidney, this could affect you. This, so yeah, some of them will listen. But when it's getting out of hand and this thing, you have the right. Just call your office. Call somebody in your office. Call your managers. Call your supervisors. Call your coordinators, and they'll be able to step in. Call the doctor. This is what is going on. All those stuff. Yeah, they might genuinely suffer from pain, which might need even something much more bigger than powerful than paracetamol. Then by the time you then feed your managers back, they'll be able to liaise with the doctor or the GP and then advise them and then come back to you to give you the lowdown. Okay, this is what is going on, this is what you're gonna do. Sometimes I see people to say, okay, doctor will come out or to come and check them and realize that okay, they really don't need it. It has to remain on PRN. Or if they realize that, and then they can prescribe whatever they want to prescribe for them. Sometimes patches. So this kind of a thing, they're very simple. You shouldn't make mistake. If I could just recount what I've said earlier on, PRN are when needed or when required medication. It is only being taken when it is required. And how do you know when it is required? You know when it's required through the protocol. Protocol, you will always say follow, what's the name? The marshals. One will be in the house, one will be in there for file a copy. If they have 500, if they have 100 PRN, you have to have 100 protocols. Protocols will guide you on what you have to do in case of medication. Within 24 hours, how many of that medication you should be able to support your client with. Yeah, to be able to tell you. And as I said, I've already given you 2 clues. I'm only repeating myself with what I said last week. When the client himself asks for it, and when you believe that okay, client actually need it. So how do you know client need it? Somebody that's paracetamol as one of the PRN and they are in pain, you should know that they need it. Somebody that have not gone to the toilet for the last 24 hours or 48 hours, you should know that, and they are laxatives and you've not been supported with the laxatives, you know they need it. There are instances whereby your client even will refuse laxatives. Laxative is one of the easiest things that people or clients usually refused. But everything starts with you by trying to talk to them. And when they refuse, you have to call. You have to, because you cannot just be looking at your client not taking their laxatives when they've not moved well for the last 48, 72 hours or even 96 hours. It's very, very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. You cannot just be looking to be saying that, okay, they say it's not required, it's not required, it's not required, they don't want it. It shouldn't be that. Can you imagine you not going to the toilet for the last 4 days and you feel that, okay, that's fine, that's okay. Are you going to be happy with yourself? You not even feel comfortable with yourself. So you've got to raise the alarm, something is going on. And then you realize that the same doctor, by the time it comes to them and talk to them, you might not be able to gain their trust, kind of, for them not to be able to be taking the medication. Somebody who is much more be trained or, than yourself might come and then talk to them, persuade them in taking that medication, and they will take it. Advise them, okay, this is the reason why they have to take it. So I will be stopping here today. PRN again. I think I'll be stopping PRN. But if you still want it, just let me know again. I will find a way again to support, to relay it. But with what I've already relayed so far in the last few days, and the one that we had before, I believe it should be on top of your game now. It should be on top of your game. I will be, as I said, we're trying to change the format of the yeah, of the program. In essence, that we want to be bringing in people, carers, managers, coordinators, just to be involved and to see how they works wherever they works. So how rewarding, how good this job is, or how tough it is, or whether they will be able to advise you to join the the train, or they want to advise you to leave the field. So I hope we'll be able to do that very soon, very, very soon. So I'm thinking we should be able to do that very soon. So if things work very well, there's possibility it might be just be it might just be what I want to say, a weekend thing, not during the week thing. So, but until then, have a blessed evening. From me, what you do, don't do what I won't do. And what I won't do, I won't leave my client without looking after them. I won't be passionate about my job. I'll be so caring about my client. See you. Bye.
CAM1 on preview.